Andretti Racing's dream of launching a new Formula One team is in grave danger of not happening, and Michael Andretti's vision of an all-American team in Formula One is on the brink of shattering in front of him. Andretti is facing strong pushback from F1 teams. Still, according to sources, one team principal is the central figure that 8 of the 10 teams are rallying behind to make it almost impossible for Andretti to get into F1. The Andretti bid looks fantastic, but is there another reason why Toto Wolff doesn't want them in? Well, we may have found it. Stick around to find out why and who the surprise team could be in 2026. Andretti has done everything possible to enter F1 and has fulfilled every requirement the FIA and Formula One have thrown at him. After the deal with Sauber fell through, Andretti announced they would go independently and look to become the 11th team on the grid. This announcement was met with mixed reviews, and Andretti was effectively told, "Go away and find a car manufacturer to support your bid and we'll look at it again." And just like the Andrettis like to do, they didn't just find any car manufacturer but went and got an American icon in General Motors, formerly the world's biggest car company and still one of the largest in the world, announcing that they would be partnering with its luxury brand Cadillac in its attempt to join the pinnacle of racing. This announcement was met with great excitement by Andretti fans, finally feeling that this was the final piece in the jigsaw to get the famous American team into F1. Even the president of the FIA, Ben Sulayem, was surprised by the adverse reaction to Andretti's entry, with the president taking to Twitter to express his views on the matter. Surprisingly, there has been some adverse reaction to the Cadillac and Andretti global news, he wrote. "We should be encouraging prospective entries from global manufacturers like GM and thoroughbred racers like Andretti and others." One of the peculiar things about this tweet was there wasn't much of an adverse reaction to the bid. This leads us to believe that something was happening behind the scenes, with many believing the response to the F1 teams and F1's lukewarm response to the Andretti bid. Andretti has this to say about his close ally and occasional business partner Zak Brown, McLaren Racing CEO. "Zak wants to do whatever he can to help us get there, and so does Alpine as well. Zak Brown and Alpine are two very good allies. Zak has been very supportive. Zak has been a great friend and ally. He gives me advice and is there to help. We help each other. I've been helping him a lot when he came to IndyCar racing. It's a friendship that works both ways." But with only 20% of the grid on Andretti's side, the future does not look bright. Now, it is not up to the teams to say who can and cannot join the grid. They certainly have a powerful voice though, and one in particular that speaks the loudest is Toto Wolff. With Mario and Michael having digs at Toto in the past over how much influence he has in Formula One, why is the Mercedes team principal so against a new team joining? Let us dive a little deeper into this. We know there is the issue with the entry fee, which many teams don't believe is enough and want more of an NHL-style entry fee of $650 million, as paid by the Seattle Kraken to join the National Hockey League in 2021, and not the $200 million that is being thrown around. The $200 million was considered a fair entry fee based on the price that Williams was sold at, but with the growing interest in F1, many teams feel this needs to be higher. It is unlikely the current Concord agreement will change on a whim, with the next opportunity coming in 2025, and a new team likely only to start competing in 2026 at least. Many teams argue that the current Concord agreement should not be applied to any team that does not compete within this time frame. Of course, this has not gone down well with Andretti, with Michael labeling it greedy. It's all about money. First, they think they're going to get diluted 1/10 of their prize money, but they also get very greedy, thinking we will take all the American sponsors as well, said Andretti. But as much as money speaks, the real reason that Toto does not want Andretti to join is F1 has been here before. Nearly a decade ago, F1 looked to expand the teams in a near disastrous fashion, with then FIA President Max Mosley, in a bid to grow the sport, creating an elaborate scheme that would allow teams to operate under a $40 million budget cap. In exchange for this, the teams got certain technical freedoms, but would be unable to access F1's significant commercial rights prize pot. Luckily, this never materialized, but there was severe interest, with 15 applications filed. What did materialize was 3 new constructors picked to help expand the grid. Manor, Lotus, and Camps Racing were successful. Constructors could only enter Column 1, where teams are paid the higher rewards until they finished inside the top 10 for 2 seasons. All three teams struggled, with Manor creating a car that could not compete as it had too small a fuel tank. Camps ran out of money ahead of the opening race and folded after the 2012 season, having never scored a point. Lotus Racing fared much better, breaking into the top 10 in 2010 and 2011 to cement themselves in the FIA's main prize pool at the end of the season, but the team slowly ran out of money and closed doors in 2014. Manor Racing also eventually folded. Out of the three squads that entered in 2010, only Manor scored points on 2 occasions. This does not bode well for any new teams wishing to enter F1, especially as the teams are now more advanced and the competition is fierce. So even with all the great resources, would Andretti be able to add value in F1, which is a critical and Toto's key sticking point? Now, Andretti is ambitious and has one foot in the door, so let's analyze if Toto is right or if Andretti does have a chance in F1. The Andretti bid, on the face of it, is super attractive. Andretti is synonymous with motorsport, being successful in Formula E and IndyCar. All of this is great, but there is a growing sense in the F1 world that the American racing world needs to grasp what it takes to run an F1 team and how complex the task is, with many American racing categories buying cars off the shelf and running them with relatively small-scale operations. Sounds great, but a far cry from what a Formula One team does. Just the logistics alone are a headache. This leads to the next point. Andretti plans to have its base in America, which one team boss calls insane and has raised many eyebrows. It's like Andretti didn't learn from his lessons after his failed stint in F1 was partly blamed on him basing himself in America and not Europe. Andretti has also not covered himself in any glory with his behavior at Miami when he asked team principals to sign an agreement to say they agreed that Andretti should enter F1. Stefano rightly put his foot down and said this is not how you behave in F1, and sternly said he would not be bullied into supporting Andretti's bid. No wonder F1 was lukewarm to his announcement. So does Andretti add value when you put it all together and look at it? They will undoubtedly need to think about some of their decisions. Along with Andretti, though, there is one other team looking to join F1. Hopefully you still remember them. Although 4 years have passed since their initial project was announced, the Pantera Asia Formula One team aims to enter Formula One alongside significant manufacturers such as Audi, Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren. Now, unlike Andretti, Pantera has been a lot more cautious in their approach, with the co-founder saying that they have hit many stumbling blocks but are looking to be involved from 2026. It's been a rollercoaster ride. We could have given up on this project a long time ago, but we believe in it. Benjamin Durand, co-founder and director of Pantera Asia F1, told Planet F1. He went on to further say that Pantera will be waiting for the green light from the FIA and F1 before they resume work. We are ready to resume. We have several people that are ready to jump on board that are not, for most of them, committed yet in Formula One, so they don't have the garden leave and so forth. What do you think? Will Andretti add value, and are they going about it in the right way? Comment below.